In Module 7, we stick with the idea of social and cultural kinds of factors, this time looking a little bit more at student diversity. Students are different in a lot of different ways, and one of the challenges for a teacher is being able to correctly diagnose what it is that might be going on with the child. And so we're going to explore some of that in this chapter, or in this module. Our reading for this chapter, our readings for this module are chapters 8, 9, and 10. We have a short series of special ed videos for you to take a look at, because it's important that all teachers understand some children can't learn effectively the same way everyone else can in a general classroom. That is to say that some students require specially designed instruction in order to achieve high standards. And remember, our goal is that every child in our classroom will be able to achieve the standards that are set out for that class, that age group. And so we're going to take a look at special ed, help you understand a little bit more about the process. And one thing I hope everyone who becomes a regular classroom teacher will keep in mind is that the days of identifying a child as a special needs child and shipping them off to the special ed teacher and forgetting about them are long gone. The regular classroom teacher maintains responsibility for implementing that child's individual education plan throughout. So we all have a stake in this. Special ed teachers certainly provide valuable resources to help those children attain the appropriate standards. But the regular classroom teacher, the PE teacher, the librarian, everybody shares in making sure that that IEP is successfully implemented. Also, we have our 2 key assessments that are due. We've done the creativity and the collaboration are both going to be due in your task stream portfolio. Now, these are the only 2 assignments, along with our confidentiality check that we did at the very beginning. The only 2 assignments that go in task stream. Let me remind you where they go. When you open task stream and go to your home page, click on COE Undergrad to get into our program. And then if you'll look on the left-hand side and scroll down to where it says KA4, you'll notice EDF 203 has a spot for creativity and EDF 203 has a spot for collaboration. That's where these 2 papers will go. Now, these are 500-word reflections, and your assignment, it will give you complete resources in order for you to complete the work. But these will be placed in task stream. The reason for this is because they actually are 2 required pieces for you to be admitted to the teacher education program. And so everything that we put in task stream in this course and in future courses are items that we can extract data from and that they actually look at in Frankfurt to determine whether or not you can be licensed as a teacher. So these are our first 2 important key assessments for this. We're going to ask you in this module to consider your own culture. Culture is a factor that is kind of difficult to get a handle on because it encompasses so many areas. Our culture is defined by how we tend to lead our lives. It's largely influenced by our history. It's influenced by the geography of where we live, what kind of weather we experience, all those human kind of factors that cause a society to make choices about how we dress, how we speak, how we celebrate holidays, how we express spirituality, everything that kind of defines what our norms for a given society collectively make up our culture. And so we're going to ask you to explore your own culture a little bit. Finally, we have a creative activity that's actually just meant to be fun and allow you to play a little bit, but also the kind of thing that teachers do in class. And this activity we call an illustrated thought. Instead of doing a discussion board this time around, for your attendance, we're going to do a blog that will allow all of us to see each other's illustrated thoughts. What we're looking for here might most simply be thought of as you making a poster for your students. What we're asking you to do is think of a message that you would like your students to know or understand, and find a graphic or create your own graphic that would go along with that, such that you can kind of create something that could become a poster that you might use in your classroom. And then the instructions also call for you to explain who's your audience, what class would see this, what is it that you hope they would understand from your illustrated thought, and kind of explain how your graphic and how your message goes together. Your message can be something that you thought up on your own. It could be a quote from someone else. You get the flexibility to kind of craft this any way you want. One last comment about this. Typically, I would not invite you to grab someone else's work and incorporate it into your own without citing it. That would be a copyright violation, and because of that, I want you to understand that we will not publish your illustrated thoughts, and nor should you, unless you're going to credit someone whose work you might be using. But we're using this for educational purposes only. It won't be published. It'll stay within the class, and by that means we don't violate copyright. We don't infringe the copyright law. But that's our work for this semester, or for this module. I hope you all do well.